This right here took me out.
Police are investigating a burning cross spotted in Grant Park.
She said the police are investigating a burning cross in Grant Park. Do you know how many cameras around that motherfucker? We talking about the busiest place in downtown Chicago, and you telling me it's not on camera?
Whoa.
We talking about in broad daylight.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Nobody seen somebody carry some shit over there and light it on fire?
And it's controlled.
It's like a control.
This is a very controlled burn.
I wonder if that dude said it because
See, I've been in Chicago all my life, so a lot of people may not remember this. But years ago, those type of people used to be in the western suburbs. Whoever did this definitely couldn't have it all, or they knew how to control a fire, because Grant Park is nothing but grass. One false move and that whole area could have went up in flames. Some are gonna say this is a sign from above, while others are gonna say this is a sign from something bad. As always, inquiring minds wanna know, and you can definitely count me out. Like, no, somebody gonna have to fucking help me understand how in the fuck does one video get 7 billion views? And I'm no hater, I'm a congratulator. Congratulations to the person that got it, but how does this one video get 7 billion views? Like, what the fuck? You see it right there. 7 billion views. And I mean, this video is like 7 seconds long, but it got 7 billion views. The only video on TikTok that has that many views. Most of the creators out here struggling just to get 1,000 fucking views, and you're telling me one video got probably more views than half of the motherfuckers on this site? Sign me up and tell me what the hell I gotta do to get 7 billion views. But then again, if a motherfucker gets 7 billion views, is they gonna pay that shit out? Probably not. They probably will say the shit is unoriginal content as they normally do. But 7 billion views? Sheesh. Mind you, I've never seen this video on my FYP at all. Some of y'all probably ain't seen this motherfucker neither, but go search it. When you see it, you'll be surprised. 7 billion views. Donald Trump has to be losing it right now. First, they're removing his name from the Kennedy Center. And now this. And now a judge orders the Trump officials to reinstall signs and exhibits at national parks on topics like slavery and climate change. Betcha he didn't see that coming. Now, it goes on to say U.S. District Judge Angel Kelly in Boston issued a preliminary injunction. This injunction argues that the U.S. Department of Interior has been engaged in a substantial campaign to erase history and undermine science. Furthermore, removing these signs not only undermines the integrity of the national parks, it sets a dangerous precedent of censorship and sanitization. Judge Kelly is ordering the government to restore the signs within 21 days by the 250th anniversary to properly honor the remarkable achievements of the United States. Betcha he didn't see this coming. Now the question is, are they gonna fight this? Or are they gonna put the signs back like the judge requested? Knowing this administration, they got something up their sleeve. Don't look like they gonna be erasing our history. And on that note, count me out. So this now viral video shows a man by the name of Don DeLone II trying to enter into a courtroom for his court appearance, but for some odd reason, this deputy would not let him inside. Then the video shows him walking away, rubbing his eyes, and then this happens. Don Long was simply defending himself against a deputy who was using unlawful use of force. They later took him into custody, but he walked over to a black man before they placed cuffs on him. But it didn't stop there. They placed him in a cell, handcuffed, for over 12 minutes, this man telling him his eyes is burning and no one came to help. He continuously for over 12 minutes attempted to try to wash his eyes or wipe his eyes off before EMS finally came to help him out. As you can see right here, he just gave up after a while. And since they decided to leave him in that cell for over 12 minutes, now he has permanent eye damage. His attorneys filed a $20 million lawsuit, $15 million for excessive force, and $5 million for assault and battery. Now, court records show that Long was not charged for the incident, but I hope he get a good payout. What could have possibly been going through this deputy's mind to let him think that that shit was okay to do? And as always, count me out. So at 8 a.m. this morning, officers responded to a shots fired call coming from a building on the 4600 block of West Wall Street. Nearly a dozen people were shot in West Texas this early Friday morning. Now, out of those 11 victims, one died at the scene. Now, the suspect has been identified as Victor Villarreal, age 45. Now, they're saying that the suspect fired multiple shots at officers and bystanders and then barricaded himself inside an abandoned veterinary clinic. Now, it didn't take long for the officers to establish a perimeter around the building, and at 12:30 p.m., they found the suspect dead. Now, they're claiming that the suspect was a fugitive, and they've been searching for him since Wednesday. He was wanted for attempted capital murder on a peace officer and firing multiple shots at a police officer on Wednesday during a high-speed chase. Now, out of those 10 victims, 5 victims was discharged this Friday afternoon, while 3 others have left the operating room, but 1 remains there. These are some crazy times that we living in, and my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone. And as always, count me out. This is exactly how COVID started. First, there were a few cases. Now there are a few more. And what's crazy, 16 of these people wasn't even on the ship.
41 Americans in a dozen states being monitored for hantavirus, including 16 people who the CDC says were not on the cruise where the outbreak began, but may have been exposed during travel on flights.
Could have may been exposed from travel on flights? Now, how would that be possible if everybody was still on ship? Besides the people that decided to leave the ship weeks before knowing that there was a virus on board.
In Kansas, 3 of those transferred to the hospital for observation after officials say they had high-risk exposure to an infected person who was not on the...
Again, there was only a few cases. Now we're up to 41. But like the CDC said, they have it all contained. And the people that they have, they're making them quarantine for at least 6 weeks. But if they decide to leave and go home to quarantine, because that option is on the table. You see where I'm going with this, right? Never mind. Count me out. Just fucking hear me out here. They say this shit is being quarantined, but a British man was at an Italian bar hanging out. It goes on to say a British man in his 60s has been detained at a bar in Milan despite being under strict antivirus quarantine orders in Italy. He and his travel companion were later taken to a hospital after being ordered to remain in isolation until early June as part of a 42-day quarantine period. It also goes to say that this case is linked to a wider outbreak connected to a cruise, which has now reported multiple infections and several deaths, with one patient critically ill on life support. I'm just gonna say it right now. Count me out. Lock down the motherfucking borders. Nobody in, nobody out. If this man was at a bar partying and he should have been on quarantine, that shit has already spread it more. You see what's happening, right? You know I ain't lying. Instead of giving these people the option to quarantine themselves, they need to lock them down until this shit is gone. I can see this shit happening all over again. Remember that little girl that everybody got mad at because she chose who was going to win the Super Bowl? Well, meet the dog who's going to choose the next NBA champions. Looks like this dog has spoken. Steph Curry chooses the Spurs to win it all. Some Knicks fans might be pissed about this. And I mean, what happens if this dog is right? 26 years New York been waiting to get another championship. So much that they even got Danhausen trying to remove the curse. But will Steph Curry be right on the pick? Will it go to Game 7 and the Spurs win it all? Spurs fans, Knicks fans, what y'all think about this? Don't ask me who my pick gonna be. You'll just have to wait and see. Count me out. If you ever near Glen Arbor, Michigan, and you see this sign, count me out. This massive sand slope is called Sleeping Bear Dunes. It's easy to go down, but hard to come up. Some people say it's exhausting as hell to get back up. With the soft sand and a steep elevation, you gonna get tired quick. No shade, no stairs, no nothing. I hope you brung some extra cash. Because at any point you get too tired, $3,000 is what you gonna have to spend. Has anybody ever been to this place before? Would you even try something like this? Better bring a whole lot of water and possibly an oxygen tank. They say approximately it's about 2 miles from the lakefront to reach the top. That's a whole lot of walking. If you a hiker, this was definitely made for you. If you a normal motherfucker like me, you can count me out. Again, I say you have to be in shape to get back up this motherfucker. Easy going down, but hard to come up. Again, inquiring minds want to know, would you risk it all? 600,000 people, $59 million later, over a year ago, and they still ain't received those Trump phones?
Trump supporter here. This goes out to Don Jr. and Eric. Where the fuck's my phones? I ordered 4 gold Trump phones in the summer. Told they're going to be the best. Talked my son into ordering some. We heard they're going to come out in September. Yeah, we can fucking wait. September rolls around. No, it's going to be November. November, no, it's going to be the end of the year. They actually stopped taking orders for them in November. Now we can't get any fucking updates on them. Give me my fucking phones or give me my money back.
Did they really quietly update the terms? No guarantee a phone will be produced or sold. Count me out. That's what you get for willingly giving up money without getting the product. Same time, man, same time. That's just like them $5,000 Doge checks, them 2,100 stimulus checks. We never seen them, and you motherfuckers won't see that phone. Count me out. So if this man ain't dozing off, he rising the inflation to almost up to 4%. And if he ain't screwing 59 million people out of Trump phones, this motherfucker came up with a bright idea to put himself on a $100 bill. Do y'all see this shit? Count me out. And on top of that, he put God bless Donald Trump. But we gonna take Benjamin Franklin off the $100 bill, and in God we trust, huh? How about giving them people they motherfucking money back or giving them their phones? How about leaving the $100 bill alone because it ain't bothering nobody? How about stop dozing off in the damn Oval when people in there talking to you? These sound way more important than trying to put your face on a $100 bill. I say again, inflation is at an all-time high, and some of y'all gonna blame this on the war. But guess what? We didn't have to go to war. This was all a cover-up for those Epstein files, you dumb motherfuckers. And after this motherfucker said earlier he don't give a damn about the American people, some of you motherfuckers still follow. What's that? The herd is calling? Count me out. Some people may ask, how does it feel to be standing next to the most powerful man in the world?
Your talk, sir.
Great.
Did you talk about Taiwan,
Great
Mr.
place.
President?
Incredible. China's beautiful.
Can we say that man looks scared shitless? Maybe he's shivering in his boots. Surprised he didn't insult the reporters. Now, the reason he didn't answer that question because President Xi warned his ass. Possible conflict if he keep talking that shit.
Did you talk about Taiwan, Mr. President?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, did you talk about Taiwan?
Say what you want, but that man was scared shitless. Count me out. I wouldn't blame him though because he ain't on U.S. soil. He has no say-so where he's at. I wouldn't be surprised if he don't talk shit once he return home. We know it's coming. My bad. Count me out.